The NBA has always been a place where incredible talent meets unforgettable moments, but every so often, something happens that feels completely unreal. We're not just talking about buzzer beaters or record-breaking performances, we're talking about real-life glitches, moments so bizarre, unexpected, or statistically impossible that they feel like someone hacked the league or pressed a cheat code. From outrageous contracts in 2016 to Wilt Chamberlain's superhuman stats, from wild blowouts to shocking comebacks, these are the stories that broke logic, bent reality, and made fans ask, did that really just happen? Welcome to the weirdest moments in NBA history. The wild free agency of 2016, when teams lost control. In the summer of 2016, something very strange happened in the NBA. It was a time when almost every team had extra money to spend because of a sudden increase in the salary cap. A massive new TV rights deal injected billions into the league, raising the cap from $70 million to $94 million almost overnight. Teams were supposed to use this money wisely and build stronger rosters, but instead they threw giant contracts at average players. Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, Timofey Mozgov, Evan Turner, and Chandler Parsons all signed huge deals. Most of them played poorly, got injured, or never lived up to their paychecks. Some barely stayed on the court, with Parsons in particular struggling to even play 30 games per season. It was like every team forgot how to evaluate talent overnight. Even the reigning MVP, Stephen Curry, earned less money than some of these overpaid players due to signing an earlier extension. Looking back, fans call those 2016 contracts when talking about bad deals. That summer didn't just hurt teams, it broke them for years. Several franchises had to endure rebuilds, dump salary, or trade young talent just to recover. It felt like the NBA glitched financially and crashed like a broken video game. Wilt Chamberlain's 1962 season, the stats that broke reality. Wilt Chamberlain's 1962 season didn't feel real either. In fact, if you told someone today about his numbers, they might not believe you. Wilt averaged over 50 points per game that season, a number that still seems impossible even in today's high-scoring era. He played 48.5 minutes per game, which means he was on the court for every second, including overtime. No load management, no breaks, just total dominance. He grabbed nearly 26 rebounds per game and scored over 4,000 points that season. In one game, he even scored 100 points, still the most ever in a single NBA contest. Wilt had more than 60 games where he scored at least 40 points and over 40 games with 50 or more. Even if the pace of play was faster back then, no one has ever matched that level of dominance. He didn't miss games, didn't foul out, and completely overwhelmed the league. Wilt wasn't just great, he was unreal. Teammates and opponents alike admitted that his physical gifts made him feel like a man among boys. His records are so far ahead of anyone else that they still boggle the mind today, more than 60 years later. Memphis versus OKC. Blowouts that broke the scoreboard. In December 2021, the Memphis Grizzlies made history by beating the Oklahoma City Thunder by 73 points. The biggest blowout in NBA history. The final score was a 152-79. A difference so large, it looked like a video game set to rookie difficulty. What made it even stranger was that Memphis did it without their star player, Ja Morant. Almost every Memphis player scored in double digits, and their bench outscored OKC's entire team in the second half. The Thunder couldn't make shots or defend anyone. Their offense stalled while Memphis pushed the pace and hit nearly every shot. But 4 years later, in April 2025, OKC got their revenge. In a playoff game, they beat Memphis by 51 points, the largest margin ever in a playoff opener. This time, OKC's young core exploded, and Memphis looked helpless. Both games felt like mirrors of each other, with bench players doing most of the damage. The scores were so lopsided They looked like errors in a video game. Fans couldn't believe their eyes in either case. It was proof that no matter how good or bad a team looks, anything can happen in the NBA on any given night. Russell Westbrook's triple-double seasons. A one-man show. Russell Westbrook did something few believe was possible in the modern NBA. From 2016 to 2021, he averaged a triple-double for 4 different seasons. That means he averaged more than 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for an entire year. Not once, but 4 times. He had games where he scored 20 points, grabbed 20 rebounds, and gave out 20 assists. Something only Wilt Chamberlain had ever done before. People accused him of chasing stats, but his effort was undeniable. At just 6 foot 3 inch, Westbrook played like a power forward, collecting rebounds and running the offense with high energy. He broke Oscar Robertson's triple-double record and carried his teams to playoff spots. His consistency made it feel like he had hacked the NBA stat system. While critics questioned his playoff success, fans appreciated his relentless motor and passion. He often led teams that lacked other stars, yet still made them competitive. He turned every rebound, assist, or basket into a moment of chaos and intensity. Love him or hate him, Westbrook redefined what was possible for a guard in the modern game. His stats became a nightly event. 5. The Warriors collapse versus Clippers, a 0.01% comeback, and one of the most unexpected playoff collapses ever. The Golden State Warriors gave up 85 points in just the second half of a game against the Clippers. They were leading by 31 points before everything fell apart in spectacular fashion. They looked confused, committed 20 turnovers, fouled too much, and let the Clippers run wild. Patrick Beverley made life miserable for Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant with his relentless defense. The Clippers bench scored 83 points, completely outshining the Warriors starters. It wasn't just a loss. It was a moment of total embarrassment. Everyone remembered the Warriors' infamous 3-1 finals collapse, and this game became another black mark. The Clippers had just a 0.01% chance to win when down by 31, yet somehow they pulled it off. It felt like a glitch in reality. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell led the charge, showing no fear against the star-studded Warriors. Even Doc Rivers looked stunned. Fans in Oracle Arena stood in disbelief as the lead vanished. It reminded everyone that no lead is ever safe in the NBA, especially in the playoffs. Michael Carter Williams' glitchy NBA debut. Michael Carter Williams had one of the best debuts in NBA history. In his first game ever, he faced the defending champion Miami Heat with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh on the floor. Most rookies would be nervous, but not Carter Williams. He scored 22 points, handed out 12 assists, stole the ball 9 times, and grabbed 7 rebounds. He even made 4 of 6 three-pointers, despite being known as a poor shooter in college. He controlled the game like a veteran, had only 1 turnover, and helped the Sixers beat the Heat, who were 11-point favorites. It was like watching a player go into cheat mode. Sadly, he never reached those heights again. Injuries and inconsistency hurt his career, but that debut remains unforgettable. The game earned him Eastern Conference Player of the Week honors, and he instantly became a fan favorite. For one night, it felt like Philly had found its next franchise star. But as his shot mechanics unraveled and minutes disappeared, his early promise faded. Still, that night remains one of the most surprising and electrifying rookie performances in league history. Denver Nuggets all-big man lineup. The Denver Nuggets once started a lineup that looked like it came from a fantasy video game. They put 5 big men on the floor, no guards, just tall players who could all pass, shoot, or defend. Nikola Jokic played point guard, Bol played small forward, and the shortest guy on the court was 6'7" Paul Millsap. The average height was 6'10". Despite looking like a joke, the lineup worked. The Nuggets beat the Washington Wizards, and Jokic ran the offense smoothly. Bol blocked shots and hit a three-pointer. The team moved well, passed the ball, and dominated in the paint. Their coordination surprised everyone. It was only possible because their guards were injured, but fans loved it. They called the group the Monstars, and it became one of the strangest successful lineups in history. Jokic's court vision held everything together, and the spacing allowed their bigs to shine in untraditional roles. For a moment, it looked like the rules of basketball had been rewritten. The experiment didn't last long, but it remains a cult favorite among NBA fans who appreciate creativity and chaos. Michael Jordan's 2 three-peats, a comeback like no other. When Michael Jordan retired from basketball to play baseball, fans were shocked. He had just won 3 straight NBA titles and was the best player in the world. His departure felt like the game lost its soul. He played minor league baseball for 2 years, trying to honor his late father's dream. Then in 1995, he came back to the NBA with the famous words, "I'm back." In his first full season back, he led the Bulls to 72 wins and another championship. Then he won 2 more titles after that, completing his second three-peat. In total, Jordan won 6 championships and never lost in the finals. He averaged over 30 points per game during those playoff runs and had iconic moments like the flu game and his last shot in Game 6 against the Jazz. It was like he paused the video game, walked away, and came back later to finish it without missing a beat. His dominance, leadership, and killer instinct became the gold standard. Jordan didn't just win, he controlled eras. No other player has exited at his peak and returned to reclaim the throne so effortlessly. His legacy became legend. Markelle Fultz, the forgotten shot. Markelle Fultz went from being the top pick in the 2017 NBA draft to one of the most puzzling stories in basketball. He entered the league with a smooth shooting form and great scoring ability, showcasing step-back jumpers, elite handles, and creativity off the dribble. But once he joined the NBA, his shot completely fell apart. He barely played during his rookie year and avoided taking threes. His free throw form looked strange and uncomfortable, almost robotic and twitchy. People started to wonder if it was a physical injury or a mental block. Doctors later diagnosed him with thoracic outlet syndrome, a nerve condition affecting the shoulder. But fans weren't sure what to believe. His confidence seemed to disappear, and he was often mocked online. Eventually, the 76ers traded him to the Orlando Magic. His early career became a mystery. How did a top talent forget how to shoot? Despite some improvement in Orlando, the shadow of his early struggles still lingers. Fultz's story became a cautionary tale about pressure, expectations, and the hidden struggles behind the scenes in pro sports. Jimmer Fredette scores 75 in China. Jimmer Fredette was a college superstar, but he never found success in the NBA. In China, however, he became a legend. In one game for the Shanghai Sharks, he scored 75 points, putting on a shooting clinic that had fans around the world talking. He had 40 of those in the fourth quarter alone. He shot efficiently, made deep threes, and hit almost all his free throws. The crowd roared with every basket as he took over the game. But even with his incredible performance, his team lost on a buzzer beater. In the NBA, Fredette never averaged more than 6 points per game. But in China, he was like a video game character. That night felt like a dream. A forgotten NBA player turned into a scoring machine overseas. He embraced the role of a star, drawing massive crowds and endorsements in Asia. His journey showed that talent doesn't always flourish in the NBA structure, and sometimes a player just needs the right environment to shine. Fredette became a cultural icon in the CBA, proving he still had elite scoring ability, even if it was far from the NBA spotlight. Brandon Jennings drops 55. Brandon Jennings, just 7 games into his rookie season, dropped 55 points against the Golden State Warriors. He hit deep threes, floaters, and scored 29 points in the third quarter alone. Before the NBA, he had played in Italy instead of college and wasn't considered a sure star. But on that night, he was unstoppable. He looked like the future of the league, moving with confidence and flair. Every shot felt electric. Yet he never scored more than 40 points again in over 500 career games. That 55-point game became a one-time event, a solo explosion that never repeated. It was one of those moments that made fans think, was that even real? He had a solid NBA career, but never reached that same level of dominance again. Injuries and inconsistency slowed him down. Still, that one night lives on in NBA lore. For one magical evening, Jennings was the hottest player on earth, and no one could stop him. It remains one of the greatest early career outbursts in league history, making him an instant fan favorite and a trivia legend. Dennis Rodman's Vegas trip. During the finals, Dennis Rodman once skipped the NBA Finals practice to appear on live television in a wrestling ring with Hulk Hogan. He flew to Detroit, missed team meetings, and still showed up for the next game as if nothing had happened. Most players would be benched or suspended, but Rodman played, grabbed 14 rebounds, and helped the Bulls win the game. His teammates, including Michael Jordan, didn't make a big deal about it. Phil Jackson let it go. Rodman kept being himself, wild off the court, reliable on it. His Vegas trip became one of the weirdest moments in finals history. For any other team, it might have been a disaster. For the Bulls, it was just another day. Rodman's antics were tolerated because he produced. He guarded the toughest opponents, dove for loose balls, and created second chance points. He balanced chaos with brilliance. The trip added another layer to his legend, a man who could dominate rebounds by day and party in a wrestling ring by night. Only Rodman could make that work and still win. Kobe Bryant's 60-point farewell. In his final NBA game, Kobe Bryant gave fans the ending they never expected. At age 37, after a season full of injuries and bad shooting nights, Kobe dropped 60 points in his farewell game. He took 50 shots, scored 23 points in the fourth quarter, and helped the Lakers come back from a 10-point deficit. The crowd was full of stars and longtime fans. After the game, he thanked everyone and said, "Mamba out." It wasn't just a great final game, it was a perfect ending to a legendary career. For one night, Kobe turned back the clock and reminded everyone why he was one of the greatest. His teammates kept feeding him the ball, and the Jazz could only watch as shot after shot went in. The performance was raw, emotional, and unfiltered, pure Kobe. He finished with more points than any player in their final game in NBA history. The atmosphere in Staples Center felt like a championship celebration. Fans cried, teammates smiled, and the league bowed in respect. Kobe left the court a legend on his own terms. From unbelievable comebacks to once-in-a-lifetime performances, these NBA moments felt more like glitches in a video game than real-life basketball. They proved that the league is full of surprises, where anything can happen, and legends are made in the most unexpected ways.